With outdoor season fast approaching, I'm going to show you the best way to level your recurve sight without needing to adjust your sight left and right when you shoot different distances. For those of you that are new here, my name is Jake Kaminsky. I'm a two-time Olympic silver medalist in the sport of archery, and I'm working to make this channel a really great resource to all sorts of archery. There's tuning and form and exercises for the sport of archery. Ultimately, I'm producing a whole lot of content to make you a better archer, so start by hitting that subscription button and the notification bell so that way you get notified when I do upload a new video. I'm producing tons of content lately and you don't want to miss out.
You're watching the Jake Kaminsky YouTube channel.
Okay, so I am going to show you how to level your recurve sight. Now, most people would say, well, don't you just level your bow and level your sight? No, you don't. Maybe if you hold your bow perfectly vertical, but just about none of us recurve shooters do because we don't have levels on our bow. We don't know what level is. We're going by feel. Maybe we're going by looks, but who knows? If we're shooting, especially like field archery, you never know what's level because the hillsides are sloping different directions and all sorts of things, and it's just not going to work out if you set your sight to be perfectly vertical to your bow. An old school way to do that was to take your sight, flip it around, and then use the sight pin as a reference on the string. Okay, so if you look real close, as I have the sight on this end of the spectrum, and then I move it all the way up, you'll see that it does not shift left and right as I'm moving it up and down in relation to the string. It stays the same. I'm twisting the sight bar a little bit as I'm doing this, but it's basically staying parallel to the string and not changing position. So what that's showing is that now the sight bar is level to the bow. But now I'm going to take it outside and I'm going to go shoot it, and you're going to see how if I move my sight to different distances, I'm going to impact left and right. Okay, so I'm back outside. I apologize if the wind's a little bit much for you, but I'll do my best to get arrows and talk in between when the wind is blowing. But essentially what this is a perfectly vertical line that I drew with a level. I just talked about walk-back tuning recently, and so this line that is drawn on the target there is perfectly vertical. You could use a plumb bob if you'd like. Just doing it with a level is just very simple. Especially on a day like this wind, a plumb bob would be blowing all over the place, so this is nice and static and it's set perfectly vertical. So if you haven't seen that video on how to do walk-back tuning, I'll put a card up at the top and there'll be a link in the description below as well. But anyway, this is gonna be a demonstration to show you. I will take my sight pin and move it all the way up to the top, and you don't need many arrows, and all you're going to do is when you shoot an arrow, you just aim at that line. You don't have to be very far back. You can see my stabilizer is basically just gonna clear the arrows when they're in the target. Okay, so I shot one aiming at the line. Not important where on the line you're aiming. I'm gonna shoot two because I haven't shot very much. So I'm gonna leave my sight pin where it is and just aim at a different spot so I don't break my arrow. Okay, so you can see I'm hitting to the right of the line pretty consistently for those two arrows. Now I'm gonna move my sight pin down. But I need to put an arrow in the bow and make sure that I'll have enough clearance when my sight pin is down all the way. You don't want to hit your arrow with your sight pin. So I'm going to shoot now, aiming at the line, and all I care about is where the arrow lands in relation to the line. See, that arrow impacted the line. It is not to the right of the line. I'll do it again just for consistency's sake. That both of those arrows that I aimed at the line and did nothing different other than move my sight pin, you're seeing an impact left and right that's different. Now, I could be doing this adjustment at distance and going from 10 meters to 70 meters. But that's a lot of walking, a lot of effort. I'm going to show you can just do it here with a vertical line. So here's a close-up just in case you couldn't see it back there. These were the first 2 arrows with my sight pin all the way at the top. This was with my sight pin all the way down. And I gotta say, I feel a bit like a traitor. I'm wearing a barebow shirt and I'm shooting a recurve with all this cheating stuff on here now. I guess I've got to do it for YouTube, you know, because people have been requesting, hey, why don't you shoot some arrows and make the videos a bit more exciting? You're right, I probably will. So this is definitely help, and I'm clearly not as strong as I used to be. This is one of the many shirts and hoodies and mugs and all sorts of stuff that's available on the Apparel website that I've designed, and I've had some help with some new designs. I can't wait for my shirts to come in representing the I am and empowering people to own that in their archery experience. So if you're interested in any of this apparel, I'll put a link at the top and there'll be a link in the description below. So while I'm adjusting my sight bar, I'm going to explain to you what's happening. I have a natural cant towards this direction, and when I do, you can see how this sight bar is angled like this. So if I'm moving my sight pin up and down a thing that is angled, as I'm moving my sight pin up and down, I'm shifting my bow left to right in space, so I'm impacting left and right as I move to different distances. Many people ask me if this is a tuning issue. In a sense it is, it's just your sight. It's super simple to fix. So all I'm going to do is, I have a natural cant this way, so I'm going to take my sight bar and I'm going to cock it this way to compensate, but it's going to be vertical to the ground, not vertical or in line or parallel with my bow. So I cocked my sight now, and I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if you can. You can see that my sight bar is not level to my bow. So if I'm canting this way, now my sight bar is level. So now I hit the line. So I'm not quite there. I'm going to make another adjustment and then I'll do it again. Okay, so I made another adjustment because I was slightly off, and I'm going to do it again. And I just want to say that having a cant is okay. You don't have to have the bow vertical. Obviously that would be ideal. As long as you have a consistent cant, you're fine. You know, a quick way to do this could be potentially pull the bow back, get comfortable with your eyes closed, and have a level on your sight bar, because then that would be level to the ground. That is another way to do it, but not everybody has a level they can clamp on their sight bar. This is definitely a quicker way to do it than shooting at different distances and adjusting and trying that way. I hit just to the right of the line, move it down. Just to the right of the line too. So that is good. I'm done. I don't have to do any more. I shot a total of 2, 4, 6, 8 arrows and I'm done. So now I can go to 10 meters, go to 70, do whatever, different distances depending on what you're shooting. And as long as I don't have to move my sight much at all, obviously no clicks would be ideal, but in today's conditions with this wind, that'd be pretty impossible to check. But the whole point is you're going to be adjusting your sight bar here to get it very close, instead of spending the time, potentially almost a whole day, shooting and trying to do it at different distances. So up close, in case you couldn't see it before, this is with the sight pin all the way at the top, and this is with the sight pin all the way down. It's basically the same. It's off just a tiny little bit. Could have been me. I haven't shot in forever. As you can tell, I am shaking like crazy. I just don't have the archery strength anymore. So that is how you level your sight bar. Oh. I haven't shot. It's heavy.
Thanks for watching, and thank you to my Patreon supporters. If you want to become a Patreon supporter or check out books, apparel, and some seminar info, head to jkaminski.com, and be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to be notified every time a new video is uploaded. And I appreciate you watching. Thank you again.